Welcome to the Next Week Podcast, episode 37.
I'm your co-host, Jason Mraz.
I'm your host, Hot Dog. For our audio listeners, it's Halloween for us. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Holla News. Holla Next News.
Happy Halla Next Week News.
Mm-hmm. Next Holla News.
Well, as always, we'll be on here for an hour, but we'll also be on Patreon for an extra half hour if you want to join that. We're also in our Discord all the time. We're bringing back the question of the day on the days when I remember to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But join our Discord. We also do the YouTube videos every week on the Next Week News YouTube channel, Wednesdays in the afternoon. And the Next Week News daily videos come out on TikTok and Instagram daily. Everything is at nextweeknews.com. Our Patreon theme for this week is a fun one.
It's going to be me just tuning my ukulele the whole time.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
That was a surprise.
We do have a topical Patreon episode where Mary, over the past 2+ years, has accumulated a long list of couples costume ideas. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to go through, rate, and review all of them, give our thoughts on why it would work, why it might not work, or why, like, some sneaky things that could mess up your couple's costume. But
and maybe some ideas that never even made it onto the list.
Maybe we come up with some new ones. Mm. I don't think we have any tweets from Mary this week. That's a rare one.
Yeah. It comes in ebbs and flows. it ebbs and flows.
Your algorithm like adjusts every once in a while, and like it kind of like hits peaks and troughs. Mm-hmm. We're at a trough right now for Mary news tweets.
Yeah, sometimes there's like a lot of news stuff. Sometimes there's not.
I had a couple that I saw that I wanted to share. Tweets from Aidan. We have one from @Quendergear. And it's a picture of a food and wine headline preview that says, Dunkin' is releasing a new drink, and it's made with something called coffee. And then the quote tweet was drill cadence. Do you know Drill on Twitter?
No. Probably
the greatest of all time. But that's something he would tweet. I had one of my Next Week News things. Someone commented, like, this reads like a drill thing. And I was like, this is the best thing you could say to me. It was wonderful.
Yeah, but I mean, Dunkin' releasing something made with coffee?
Dunkin' is releasing a new drink, and it's made with something called coffee.
That's how you'd say it?
Mm-hmm. How would you say it again?
Dunkin' is releasing a new drink, and it's made with something called coffee?
So you...
Good question.
You put the...
Something called coffee.
You put the implied question mark in there?
Yeah, like you're questioning, like, what is this coffee thing? Dunkin' doesn't usually dabble in coffee.
That is true.
Their sugar, their cream, their caramel, their whatever.
Or maybe it's something along the lines of like, Dunkin's releasing a new drink, and it's made with a little something called coffee.
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, that was okay.
All right, I have another one from @IPaddleAround. Another one of my favorites on there. We got baby name ideas. Boy is namely, Namely, as in the adverb. And girl is namely, Nameligh.
I kind of like that.
I like that one too. And we also wanted to give a birthday shout out to, in particular, Isla, who submitted that their birthday was on the 26th. But then we also would like to apologize to everyone whose birthday is on the 26th, since that ended up being Onions this year. A lot of people commented that it was their birthday.
Well,
which I guess
sorry, it's Onions.
A 1 in 365 chance of your birthday being Onions. So we apologize to those who had that happen to them. What a shame. Maybe next year, although Onions does typically fall on the 26th. So
So it's not one of those like second Thursday of the month.
No, it's 2 for 2 so far on the 26th. And it's been a Thursday, I believe, maybe a Wednesday. I forget what it was. And then a Saturday.
Yeah.
You going back to look it up?
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, that's for our listeners, that's coming up this Saturday.
That sucks because it would have been really nice to have a nice Saturday birthday, but sorry, it's Onions.
Did you see that like a day or two after the Onions announcement, McDonald's had like a listeria outbreak in their Big Mac onions?
Oh, I didn't know it was the Onions.
It's the Onions that did that.
Onions. It's onions. Wow.
Really is onion season.
Big month for onions.
Kind of unexpectedly. I mean, I guess if there were to be an onions month, October would probably be the one, but tough to say.
I want to say September or March.
September or March?
No,
March?
September or April.
Okay, I could see April.
Those
March
give me onion vibes.
Yeah, March just has the vibe of green.
I want to play my ukulele.
I guess
so
there are
bad.
green onions. This is going to be a real challenge for Mary to see if she can make it through the episode without strumming the untuned ukulele.
I tuned it right before this.
Tuned it to like typical tuning is what, like G E C, something like that.
I don't know, but I have imperfect pitch.
Right now
but
we're
like
on MARY tuning.
Yeah. Mary tuning. It's my imperfect pitch. It's like perfect pitch where like I can match it perfectly to these imperfect pitches that I have in my ear, in my mind.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. So it's imperfect pitch. Me and Charlie Puth. It's very similar to his.
Is that Charlie Puth's whole deal?
He's got perfect pitch.
Oh. So you're like Charlie Puth in that you kind of complement the idea of perfect pitch with imperfect pitch?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Okay.
Next week news. Imperfect pitch.
Imperfect pitch. Works. Well, we'll jump to our news segment, which I think we had one submission for. We had a lot of news submissions.
Oh,
I did say to send us your spookiest submissions, so we have some of those.
Oh.
On
no,
the,
I'm going to be scared. Having
oh, yeah,
nightmares.
you're going to be so spooked. We're all going to be so spooked. That's the whole theme here. But we have one advice from next week to read.
You want to go ahead?
Which is, will my mom come back from the store? She's been there for 11 years. And that's from Lynn.
11 years, that's a hefty amount of time.
Yeah, it's really, okay, so it's really tough to find the 2.5% milk. Like, she's still looking for that 2.5% milk. It's been a while. And none of the stores really have it.
And I mean, in the last 11 years, we also have been like moving away from dairy milk in general. So that makes it even more challenging.
Selections are dwindling.
Yeah.
And she kind of left before the age of the internet where you could like really look up and maybe even customize your milk. Like there's probably some milk customization services out there that probably weren't available back in 2013.
I never thought of that. Like you can make it like 3.2% milk.
Yeah. I'm sure you could find someone who will do that for you. Maybe on Fiverr or on Etsy or something like that. You can get your 2.5% milk, your 3.8% milk, but probably not back in 2013. You had to go to the store to try to look for that type of thing. And there's that banana bread recipe that really needs that. Like it's just not going to come together right unless you have that 2.5% milk. So we wish Lynn's mom all the best in finding that and returning home. It's been a while. Your family misses you, but yeah, she's not coming back. She's not going to find that 2.5% milk.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lost cause.
Just going to be lost in the milk aisle for years to come.
What's that song from Over the Hedge, Lost in the Supermarket?
I don't remember.
It's a good song.
Do you want me to try to play it?
Yeah, let's hear your rendition of it.
I don't know it though. Lost in the milk aisle.
Beautiful.
Looking for that 2.5% milk.
Can't find it. Whoa.
I don't want it to be too loud in the microphone.
Those strings might snap. I'm not sure how long that's been sitting like that. That'd be pretty funny if you snapped a string on here.
Oh yeah, rocking too hard.
From jamming out too much.
I'm like holding it way up here, so if you like cut any clips from this and like post it on TikTok, people won't think I'm just randomly wearing a fedora. They're like, oh, she's got a prop. She's got a ukulele.
Let's see how long that lasts. We're about 10 minutes in. Let's see how long until that escapes your mind, and then you're just sitting there in a flannel and a fedora.
I said this before. I feel like I look too much like Jason Mraz.
I think it might be the fact that your hair is all in the back.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to put it down, but
no, you got to really, really lean into it.
Yeah, I mean, you really look like a hot dog right now.
I do really have the hot dog look
like
going.
You got your hair out looking all hot dog and stuff.
Got mustard all over. It
Yeah.
kind of dried.
Not
and
even just on the thing, like under the suit, you got all the mustard. So,
oh yeah, I'm
like
slathered.
The smell is really kind of feeding into the look.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Attracting bugs.
Making me hungry.
Oh no, I'm in danger right now. This is a really dangerous costume for me to wear.
Danger. What is that from?
Oh, that's from is that from The Simpsons? It's like a kid sitting in the back, like in the bus.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in
I'm in
danger.
danger. Although that's like the way that I interpret it, but I think I've seen the clip and like it's not. He doesn't
Hmm.
say it in the way you expect
Well, it's not.
from the meme.
I'm not gonna go and ruin my uh, understanding of it. I'm just gonna keep going like do it like
I'm in danger.
that. Okay, so now moving on to the regular news segment. Um, so next week, COVID-19's little brother David 15 is spreading. COVID said it's David's turn to become a pandemic. We all know that's unfair because COVID works for what he has. Poor COVID. And that is from Alan, also known as Alan.
I think I've got David 15.
Oh no. Coughing is one of the symptoms.
Yeah. And also having kind of like that really like pathetic voice. It does that to
Mm.
you.
Oh, so you've had this for a while?
Yeah. Just sound really nasally and whiny.
Mm.
It's one of the long-term effects.
Mm. So David 15 is trying to, live up to this got this like sibling rivalry trying to live up to COVID-19.
Yeah, it really has younger brother syndrome.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those things where like its bark is a lot worse than its bite. Like it doesn't really do a whole lot to you,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. I mean, I see he's wanting to like follow in his brother's footsteps. I wish maybe he could have found a different way, but like I understand. But yeah, as you said, like not really performing as well as COVID. Like he's never going to be as good as his brother
Yeah, I just
or
don't
as
see.
powerful, I
I
guess.
just
Not
can't
good.
see David 15 as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
You just always see him as that little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
I mean, maybe once it turns to 16 or 17 or something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really just like there's not a whole lot to it. It has no like the strength just isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In terms of spreading.
It lasts
Less
like 3 days, and then you're like better than you were before.
Ah. So it's a crazy bounce back.
hmm
Yeah, like you're actually able to use that time while you have David 15 to work on yourself and to like get things done and make a game plan for it. Like make like a 20-year plan. That's like one of the symptoms is making a 20-year plan for your life that like is realistic, you can follow through on it.
That is such a
Breaking it
long
down.
plan.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
You could. I think some people do.
A 20-year plan?
Yeah.
I'd like to have like a 20-day plan.
Yeah. I'd like to have like a
Like
4-day plan.
If I could see 3 weeks out, that would be quite an improvement.
You can only see 1 week out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean that's the thing about David 15. Yeah, that's one of the big things, really.
You get to make a
Making a
20-year
difference.
plan. Well, it's a good thing I have this thing. I gotta wait for that to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and no changing the plan either. Once you make it, you gotta stick to it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Even if I have David 15, there's no chance.
Ooh, resisting that. That's what gets you.
Is that like not taking your medicine? Is that like taking an incomplete course of antibiotics?
Yeah. Yeah. Like making the 20-year plan is part of the course of David 15, like in order for it to go through your system and come out. So you're gonna be stuck with that nasally little voice.
That's fine. That's how it's been.
Mm-hmm.
We'll jump to the next one here. You know the old adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, it's about to get some company. They're trying out some brand new profession fruit combinations to make life a bit more interesting. So far, they've come up with these. Teachers cannot stand grapes. Accountants will scream if offered peaches. And firefighters will refuse to enter homes if there's too much passion fruit. As a precautionary measure, fruit salads no longer exist. That's from Tagi Haragi, who has confirmed that we've been saying it right. Good
Heck
for us.
yeah.
It's mostly Mary. I was the one who questioned that.
Yeah. Thought you were
I
blaming
was saying
me.
you're the one who's doing it right.
Okay, yeah. I got defensive for a second. I'm glad to hear that we're taking precautionary measures.
Yeah, although fruit salads, those are good.
There's usually too much melon in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
well, we know what keeps Mary's away.
melon. Yeah. But like I guess grapes are in fruit salad, but like peaches aren't usually in fruit salad, and I don't know about passion fruit. I don't really eat passion fruit, which is good, I guess, in case my home catches on fire. What is considered too much passion fruit is what I'm wondering. Is there a range, or
I think that's something that you could pretty easily figure out.
like you can just tell? Like,
Yeah, like you look at
there's
some passion fruit
too
and
much
you're like,
passion.
that's a reasonable amount of passion fruit, or that's too much passion fruit.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you can kind of just
How big is a
tell.
passion fruit?
I've-
I have no idea either.
I don't know. I think it's about yay big.
That's too much
That's
in
about
itself.
the size of my head for
Like,
online listeners.
A half a passion fruit, if that's the case, is like probably about what would be too much.
It's probably a little bigger than a baseball.
Okay, a little bigger than a baseball. That's fine. So one passion fruit is probably enough. If you have any more than that, like you better hope that your home is pretty fireproof.
Yeah, I was mostly guessing about the sizes. I'm actually not sure, but I think it's like standard fruit size.
I think I figured out in my head that like a roughly a slightly larger than baseball amount is about the threshold.
Really, I was thinking like number. Like if you have 2 passion fruits in your home, I feel like that's seems okay. But if you have any more than 2, like if you've got 3, 4, 5, 10 passion fruits, like waiting to be eaten, I think that's too many.
How long does a passion fruit last? See, this is a fruit
don't
that I have
know.
no familiarity with.
Yeah, and it's the one that
I'm also not a firefighter, so this makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure if I become a firefighter, that'll enter my life in a weird way.
I wonder what their beef is with passion fruit. Maybe it's just like what it says about the person who lives there and they don't want to save them. I don't know.
Accountants will scream if offered peaches.
I wonder if they'll take them. They scream out of delight or out of
No,
like,
they
terror?
don't like them.
Will
In a bad way.
and they won't take them.
Nope.
They won't accept them. Doesn't say anything. They could scream and then accept it and enjoy the peach.
No,
How do
like
you-
in like a scared way is how they scream.
Oh yeah. Like if I was at the store and I was just, minding my business in the fruit aisle looking at some apples, and then someone was like, "Oh, I'm looking for some fruit." And the worker was like, "Oh, it's like peach season. And so we got these juicy peaches over there," screamed. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And so I guess they probably were an accountant. I didn't really know why. I thought maybe they were just like offended or something happened. Maybe they had like some trauma related to peaches, but they must have just been an accountant.
I think it's scarier now that there are just accountants among us. Like you could be in the grocery store and have no idea
Yeah.
until they're offered a peach and then they scream and you're like, that was an accountant the whole time?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to like uncover accountants or like figure out if someone is an
Yeah,
accountant.
you could really and they have to like try to keep it muted if they don't want to be outed as an accountant.
Yeah. Like if you're out at a bar or if you want an accountant and you're out at a bar and you're trying to find an accountant to bring some peaches, and if they scream, then it's game time or it's nay time. I like that saying that I just
And the last one we have here, I guess if we're going just in reverse order of them. So teachers can't stand grapes.
So they love apples, can't stand grapes. Oh wait, no, that was. Oh, it doesn't mention anything about.
I have a theory for this one. Do you want to hear my theory on why teachers don't like grapes?
I would love to.
Because when you have math problems, and math teachers are the ones who give you math problems, they have to give you like just an absurd amount of something. Like you're buying 55 watermelons.
Or
Buying 55
3 passion fruits.
fruits.
Ridiculous.
Buying like 150 grapes is reasonable.
Yeah, that's
Like
regular.
that it takes way too many grapes to break into the unreasonable threshold. That math teachers just can't stand that. They can't make a proper problem that's within the bounds of what they're teaching.
Yeah, like you would have to go up to
uses
like
a ridiculous amount of grapes.
you have to go up to like 1 million to
Yeah.
be like, oh, that's kind of a lot of grapes.
Probably more.
Mm.
Grapes are something that you could really just have a ton of.
Yeah, yeah, and there's like variety, colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's the one that I think has the biggest connection. It's the first one too, which I think is the most obvious one to add. But I guess it'll make more sense pretty soon why accountants don't like peaches. I was thinking it had something to do with the fuzz, but tough to find a solid connection there.
They can't count the fuzzes,
Maybe.
or maybe they have like the way you price peaches is very complex, so it's hard.
It could be.
Hard to like account for them and account them. Budget for them is what I mean.
Maybe firefighters just don't like passion.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other brand new profession fruit combos you can think of?
What other fruits do we have? Bananas? Who wouldn't like bananas? Melons, we determined that you don't like.
Yeah, yeah. Jason Mraz hates melons.
You heard it here first.
Um,
Start a whole
we got
trend.
watermelon. I feel like skateboarders love a watermelon.
So people who don't like skateboarders are very anti-watermelon.
No, that's not inherently true. All I said was that skateboarders love watermelon.
Okay.
I mean, maybe because they're like they associate it with skateboarding. So if they don't like skateboarding, then they don't like watermelon. But that's not inherently true.
I'm really stuck on trying to think of who wouldn't like bananas.
My first thought was a zookeeper,
A zookeeper?
but like that seems too obvious because like the monkeys and the gorillas and stuff. Lawyers maybe.
What wouldn't lawyers like? We're really breaking it down with reason here. We could just say that lawyers don't like kiwis.
Oh yeah, they definitely don't. The fruit.
Why? I couldn't tell you.
It's just how it is. I mean, why would an apple keep a doctor away? I mean, besides like the bruise that it gives them when you throw it at them.
True. Apples do make great projectiles. Maybe we're thinking too much about this, and it's all
Yeah.
about how well it can be used as a projectile.
Because my first thought, I guess, when you started to explain why teachers can't stand grapes, my theory was because it's easy for kids to hide in their pockets and throw at the teachers during class. So, there could, yeah.
Do you think this has to do with like how like durable the profession, like the typical person in that profession is? Like a firefighter is probably going to be more consistently built, like they're going to be a stronger person than your average teacher and accountant.
Yeah. Well, accountant, I'm thinking they don't like peaches. Peaches are usually pretty juicy, and it's going to get all over their accountant little papers and stuff and mess up all their numbers.
Oh, and their nice suits and stuff like that.
Yeah, because for accountants, I feel like they need to be able to see all the little numbers, see like the periods and the commas are very important. So if you're eating a peach and you're getting, or if someone's offering you a peach, juice is going to get everywhere and it's going to blur the numbers, the periods, the commas, and then they're going to really mess up the budget.
Or if you throw a peach at an accountant, it's going to explode in a very juicy way.
Yeah, because peaches bruise easily, just as I was gonna say just as
Throw it
accountants
hard
do.
enough that it doesn't just bruise, but it breaks and explodes.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes honestly valid for
Maybe
them
that's the
screaming.
whole idea behind this.
It could be. Yeah.
Guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah. Well, no longer fruit salads no longer exist. Not even just that we're not making it, they no longer exist. It's not a
can't.
thing. It will reject. They don't mix. It's like water and oil. They refuse to mix. You put them all in a bowl and they'll just line up on their own little sides. They'll separate themselves. They do not mix.
They form, like, they turn whatever bowl it is into like sections, like the plastic things you can buy, plastic spreads of fruit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they'll separate.
They will really like they'll break your bowl before they go together.
Yeah. Yeah. Like magnets. There's a new Magic 8 ball that is 100% accurate. However, you can only ask it if you're going to like a show, movie, or book before you watch or read it. That is from Larry the Banjo Player.
I think you could really use this.
I would love this. This would be so helpful.
Although, like, if you know would it ruin the book at all for you if you like knew for sure that you were gonna really like it, if there was no mystery at all as to like whether it was good?
I think I honestly I have had this happen before where I had multiple people telling me specifically like you would love this show. And then I was like I don't want to like it because they're all telling me I'm going to like it, and I didn't even have high expectations. I mean, I kind of because they all said I was going to like it, but it made me almost want to not like it because they all were so sure I was going to like it.
You really start analyzing like, oh, like they picked me to like this.
Yeah.
Like you start psychoanalyzing yourself maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So
I wonder if this will remove the paradoxality. That's the new word of the week, the paradoxality
Mm-hmm.
of this, where it's like you can't not like it because it says you'll like it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Like it takes away that reason to not like something.
Yeah. But also, liking a show, movie, or book is so complex because it's usually not very straightforward. It's not like, yes, I liked. Well, sometimes it is, yes, like I loved this book. But sometimes it's like, I didn't like it a lot, but I still benefited from it and I can see its good points. I'm glad that I read it in general. So it's a little more complex. So I feel like, but then if it like says, no, you don't like it, then I'm probably just not going to read it or not going to watch it. And then I'll never get like that extra little benefit that I wasn't expecting.
I think what we're really all looking for here, and the real purpose of watching a show, a movie, or reading a book, like the real reason that you do that is so that you can post your rating, your out of 5-star rating online
Mm-hmm,
for all your friends to see on Letterboxd or Goodreads or something like that. Like if you really break down at the core of it, it's really making it about yourself is kind of the key.
That just reminded me that I didn't rate the last Harry Potter movie that I watched on Letterboxd, so I gotta go do that.
Unbelievable. You watched a movie and didn't letterbox it?
I forgot.
How do you forget that kind of thing? That's like that's the purpose.
I'm not as all in on Letterboxd as I am on Goodreads.
That's got to change.
But usually if I forget, then I like go back and I'll add it. But yes, that is true.
And that does basically assign whether you liked it or not. Like if it's less than 4 stars, I'm going to say that that's a didn't like it. If it's arguably, if it's 4 stars or more, that's kind of a liked it rating.
That's true. Yeah. Because usually 3.5 is like, it was okay. The ending was good.
You're giving it the benefit of the doubt, but it wasn't for you. Maybe is what 3.5 stars means.
Yeah, yeah. But you're only liking, or you're only watching, reading, consuming these things in order to have other people see that you
like have them know that you have good taste.
Yeah, or that you spend your time doing those things. Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm iffy, I guess, about this Magic 8 Ball. I like the condition that you said about like it can't affect whether I'm just like refuse to like it because it said that I would. As long as that's like a condition, then I'm okay with it, I think.
It takes away your ability to just be contrarian.
Yeah. It's funny that like that's the only thing it does. You can't ask it anything else. All it's gonna do is tell you that.
I wonder if this is like a physical Magic 8 Ball or if this is some sort of service or online thing that you can ask.
I feel like
I'm imagining it's probably physical.
I was imagining physical.
Do you think it's one of one? Like you have to go consult that Magic 8 Ball?
Well, I was wondering that too. I was like, does it get to know me first? Or is it like a sorting hat and it just kind of knows?
It just knows. I like to think it just knows.
I don't have to like tell it anything about my taste. It doesn't have to like spend time with me. It just kind of, it can tell.
It just completely psychoanalyzes you right away and just pins you for exact things. And it's always right.
Wow, it really understands me. It really gets me. What if I accidentally fall in love with it?
You can't. That could be a whole plot point of something.
Yeah. That could be a book that it's going to tell me that I don't like.
Like, ooh, you have to find a way to ask it, like, about your own life, but through, like, books and stuff. Like, asking it if you'll like this book in order to determine your own, like, people who like X are Y, and maybe the other way around. And, like, you have to ask, like, you can ask it, like, am I going to like this book for the reason of figuring out yourself?
Yeah, because what if it's like a politics book? That's what I'm like, figuring out where what your political beliefs are. If it's like a very one-sided book saying certain politics, then it's like, will I like this? It's like, what are my beliefs? Do I agree with this book or do I not? And then it can tell you, and then you can figure out what you believe.
I kind of hope you'd have an idea of that before.
Hey, you were the one who came up with this.
I'm thinking in a much more complex way. Like, what are your true deep desires? What's at the root that you don't even want to believe about yourself?
Oh. Well, I was thinking like do I bother reading like a finances book to tell me how to do my finances will I like it or will I just be annoyed by it trying to tell me what to do? Will it be beneficial or not?
Finance books are always like there's an ulterior motive behind them. They're trying to get you to buy something. That's a broad statement I just made, but I stand by it.
They're trying to get you to buy the book.
Like well, I mean, they're trying to get you to buy the book number one because then that gets them on the bestseller list. This is a very cynical point of view, but it's kind of how it works in the finance world. So you buy the book, put it on the bestseller list. The book tries to sell you something in the guise of like, I've done this and you should too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do typically withhold a lot, but I don't know. Works for people. I
Yeah.
guess they can be educational.
Yeah.
Or they just get caught up in some sort of scheme. That happens.
Not to me.
Never to me. I would never fall for anything. We'll jump to the next one here. Good news. You will find oil on your property next week. Bad news. It is now federal property. And that one's from President Joe Biden. I mean, this is huge.
This is
oil
huge.
on my property.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine it's like the natural thing, the oil, not like olive oil.
I don't own property. Is it just like where I am? This could be
Probably.
Are they gonna have to relocate me? That's fine.
Wait, you don't own property?
No.
I got a couple acres out in Kansas. That's where they'll find the oil.
You look like you do.
Yeah, I'm from Mechanicsville, Virginia, but I got a couple acres out in Kansas, along with a couple hundred acres back in my hometown of Virginia.
You quite literally have the blue collar look going on right now.
I do.
I'd believe you.
I'm yours.
Is that how you prove that you're a small town person who likes the simple things and built what they have on their own, is just breaking into I'm yours briefly?
Mm-hmm. I was also trying to reference that Jason Mraz is the one who's from Virginia, so I was just in character just then. Well, I mean, I guess I'm in character this whole time, but
I guess I've been in character too.
yeah.
I'm not myself this week. I'm hot dog. Anyway, so does this mean that like I have oil? Like, because
it is now federal property. It is the federal's oil. It's the government's oil now. It is now federal property because you found oil there. They took it.
Yeah,
you
but
can't
like
keep the oil.
I don't own the property. I don't own any property. I guess other than the physical space that
We're assuming this is your property. Yeah.
Where I currently am.
Well, or just like your property, like where you live. Yes, they found oil underneath here. They're gonna have to evict you.
Oh, true. I guess I wouldn't really have any recourse.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I don't have any equity. I'm not someone who believes in equity. I believe in just paying someone forever. Indefinitely. Because you can have this kind of situation where you have oil and you lose everything.
There's different definitions of equity, and so I was confused for a second. I was like, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You don't believe in equity? But you meant different.
I don't believe...
You meant like finance, money.
I gotta really consider the other definitions of words before I use them in definitive ways.
Yeah.
Because we come from two different worlds. Equity, to me, it's just not something I believe in.
Does the government usually do this? When you find oil, they can just have it?
Usually they have a good idea of where it is and they take it beforehand, I think.
But have they checked under
I guess
your
they
property?
haven't really checked. I've just been pouring oil down there all the time. It's like a make my own oil situation.
You can do that?
I don't know.
Because you can't make oil, right? That's the thing. It's like a limited.
It takes a while.
It's like it's a what is it? Limited resource? Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm. Very smart.
Oh no, non-renewable.
Non-renewable.
Non-renewable resource. So that's the whole issue. Oop. Struck a chord. That's sure struck a chord.
I mean, it makes sense that they take it over. I'd give it up. I mean, giving oil to your country is like the most selfless thing you can do. Is to let your country have the oil.
That's the most
the most
selfless thing you can do. Okay.
Because oil is the number one thing they want. And if it's the number one thing you have and you give that up,
yeah, they should pay you for it.
No.
It's a good excuse to be able to give baby ducks a bath.
True.
Stock up on your Dawn dish soap.
It is wild that they still use that duck on the label.
I mean, it's great marketing.
If if I'm speaking my true opinions here and not being in hot dog character, the fact that we haven't had like a major oil spill in like over a decade and yet the ducks are still on the
There's
thing.
Like
it's
some occasionally.
There are some
just
occasionally.
Not like the ones that really impact the duck population.
But like
as far
the
as
only
I know.
thing that the duck on the dish soap draws your mind to is like two of the worst ecological disasters that we've ever had. That the soap played kind of a secondary role in. Like it was very good optics, but it doesn't really save the ducks.
That's not where my mind goes when I see the duck. I think, oh, they cleaned the duck, and I think Dawn dish soap.
Well, their marketing works on you, I guess.
Yeah. And as a woman, I'm the target audience for their soap. So
true, very true.
Yeah, only women do dishes. And
doesn't matter if it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'm not the one buying it.
Man, things oil spill.
Why don't they make it pink?
I don't know, because then it would be too
blue man color.
Then it would be too obvious, and
pink girl color, ducks girl animal. Maybe it does leave some room for benefit of the doubt in there.
Yeah, you don't.
Benefit of the doubt is the phrase of the day.
Benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they don't want to be too clear about it. Also, just to clarify, I don't believe that women only clean. That was a joke. Moving on. Starting next week, skeletons will be 45% less spooky. In a public address, the CEO of Halloween, in charge of the change, said, "What's the big deal? We all got 'em. Are you afraid of the pancreas, the kidney, the humble gallbladder? Yeah, didn't think so." They then held up an x-ray of their own chest and smiled at it lovingly, like how a mother would look at their newborn child. That is from Anonymous.
I do like my own skeleton.
Really?
It serves me well.
I mean, it asks like... I'm not afraid of skeletons that I see out on the street, but I am afraid of my own. I'm afraid of what it would look like. What if it's got... I don't know. What if it's messed up?
So, skeletons in like decorative, in Halloween themed things, skeletons are
oversaturated.
That's one opinion to have. I think, they're always portrayed as like
goofy?
Moving about and goofy, but like, is that like that skeleton was once a person? Is that person then is the skeleton then its own being afterwards? After it's a person, or is that person still inhabiting the skeleton and they are still deciding to do that?
That's a good question, because I guess that makes you think of like zombies, or like, because the skeletons, I guess, is supposedly coming back to life in the same way like zombies come back to life, and then they just somehow are inherently like evil, whereas that person probably was not evil. That is interesting. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like in a Sharknado. The sharks, like, they're in this tornado. You think they'd be freaking out, but their first instinct is to eat. They're like evil sharks. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not like, oh, let me survive and get to water. They're like, no, I'm in the Sharknado. My first instinct is to eat, which that came to my mind because that's like a thing that I've been thinking about. Like, why is they're in a tornado? They're in the air. Like, why is their instinct just to like chomp heads off while they're flying through the air? But this same thing with the skeletons. Why do they all wake up evil? I don't know.
Oh, I have a theory. So, Skeletons are like, in terms of your total mass, bones are probably lighter than you think. I think they're what, like maybe
Your skin is your heaviest
five
organ.
to 10%, if that, of
Hmm.
your body weight.
I guess, sure.
And
That
I'd
seems like a
say that,
guess.
like, the average person is like maybe 90-95% good,
Hmm.
and has 5 to 10% vengeance.
Yeah, I guess.
Is vengeance stored in the bones? Because then in the afterlife, when you're just a skeleton, your vengeance is then concentrated into being, if you're 100% bones, then you're 100% vengeance.
Mm.
If vengeance is stored in the bones,
Mm-hmm.
then I can see how this would all make sense in the grand
Mm.
scheme of things.
I could see that.
What are you like? You're probably like 8 or 9% vengeance.
Hey. So
I
I'd be really evil as a skeleton.
actually, the Patreon episode can be. I have a scale that like can like measure like your bone mass.
Oh.
We can see what percent vengeance we both are.
It's like to see if I have very porous bones or weak bones.
I don't think it actually. I think it just takes a percentage of your
No.
body weight. But it likes to. Its selling point was that it can tell you like your
Uh-huh.
percentage of everything.
Yeah.
But
So I like that theory. Like I could see that being the thing it's in your bones where you store that the hatred and the evilness. Um, so the Halloween CEO asking, "Are you afraid of the pancreas, the kidney, the humble gallbladder?" No, I'm not afraid of them. I fear them a little. I fear them bursting. I fear everything inside of me bursting.
I fear them a lot more than my skeleton though. Like the skeleton kind of do whatever it wants. The
Mm-hmm. As
pancreas,
long
the
as
kidney,
it's
and the humble gallbladder. There's some. I think for me, there's some fear associated there.
yeah. You said, "Yeah, I didn't think so." Like you didn't hear my answer. I didn't respond. Um, yes, I am a little afraid of them. I'm not like in a terror way, but in a like I respect them. I want them to stay together. It's like it's like fearing the ocean out of respect. Fearing my pancreas, my kidney. I
I,
don't not that I respect them, I guess. If I respected them, I would probably
live
consume
a different
differently.
lifestyle.
Yeah. Live a different lifestyle, I guess. But I am a little afraid of them. I'm afraid of them bursting.
I don't know if I'm so afraid of other people's pancreas, kidneys, and gallbladders though,
Yeah.
because the skeletons that I see usually are not mine.
Yeah. I'm for sure not afraid of skeletons. Well, this is a conversation that me and Aiden have been having the last couple weeks. These Halloween decorations, I I agree. What's the big deal? One, their reasoning being we all got them, but I just think there's oversaturated. Everyone's doing skeletons. I'm looking at all these decorations, skeleton, 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 and it's so easy to be creative with them. We had this whole conversation. It's so easy to be creative with a skeleton decoration. You can do anything with them. So it's not impressive when they are creative with them. Like there was one person who had a bunch of witch hats like hanging up and or if you have a ghost like and be more creative with them because it's a little more challenging. But if you have a skeleton, it's easy to be creative with that.
My counter argument, and this is kind of just reiterating a conversation that we had, was
Yeah.
that if it is easy to be creative with them, then so be it. It's like having the 64 pack of Crayola crayons in front of you when you're typically operating like if you're typically operating on like crayon the
So
12
like
crayon model, and you're given the 64 crayon model, like does using those extra colors in fun new ways mean that you're not being creative?
not creative, but like the if you have the 64 crayons and you make this cool drawing, that to me would be less impressive than someone who made an equally cool creative drawing with only 12 crayons.
Okay.
It's maybe more impressive that they used only those 12 crayons and somehow made it just as impressive and creative as if they had access to all 64.
So you want to see like pumpkins climbing all over the place.
Yeah, or like a pumpkin skeleton. Pumpkin head on a skeleton, at
Pumpkin
least
head on a
combo.
skeleton. Whoa.
Yeah, at least that combo.
What if the skull of the skeleton was carved like a jack-o'-lantern? Too scary?
I was just trying to picture what you meant.
I don't quite know what I was going for either, but that's typical. That's how we'll
I
end
would
that
like
one.
to see an X-ray of my chest. Okay, go on.
That was a next week news bit. Is that you can
Oh yeah.
press the button and have the doctor send you your bones.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Like a bone request has been received.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them, please.
I don't think I'd have to be as scared of them if I could like see them and check in and make sure they're all like not broken and stuff and they're all in alignment.
I am someone who really doesn't want to see pictures of injuries.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
don't
broken
that
bone.
either.
Nope. No, thank you.
I don't even like thinking about it. Ugh.
Nope.
Let's move on.
All right. Genius decides to dress as himself for Halloween. Yes, that's right. It seems a local man is really shaking up the costume game this year in a landmark decision to dress how he normally does. Critics have attacked this idea, saying it's actually not very original at all, or, hey, I did that when I was 12, and why are you writing this down? But it seems like the whole reactions are very positive, or on the whole, reactions are very positive. So look forward to maybe getting a chance to meet this trendsetter. I know I will. And that's from Acorn Reel. Dressing as yourself for Halloween. I've thought about it.
I've thought about dressing as you. I meant to actually. That's what I should have dressed as for this podcast. I kind of forgot that I was going to dress as you. I was going to wear the suit and stuff. Maybe for the Patreon, I'll dress. I'll dress as
A quick
you.
change.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fun promise to make. Enticing. You get to see Mary in the suit.
And tie. As long as I got
Full
my
disclosure,
suit
that
and tie.
the shirt needs to be washed. You probably don't want to wear that right now.
We'll figure something out.
Find a new shirt. There's a new shirt.
Or my Jason Mraz shirt underneath it.
Kind of take a Jason Mraz twist on the next week news thing.
Yeah. It's like if you had Jason Mraz as a special guest news reporter, that's who I'll dress up as. I'll still wear my fedora, but I'll just also wear the coat and the tie.
You can dress as maybe the most specific combination. I don't think anyone before or ever will again dress up as if Jason Mraz were delivering next week news.
Probably not.
That'll probably be the most unique costume of all time.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for. Just like this guy, this genius who doesn't dress as himself. Local man shaking up the costume game. I wonder if like what if like Spirit Halloween started like carrying that? It was just like the most normal outfit.
Guy.
Yeah.
Just like
dress as yourself.
like an unbranded polo shirt and like a pair of khakis.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some maybe
As long as it's not a red shirt,
some
then
white
it would
socks
be,
and loafers.
then it would be Jake from State Farm.
Yeah.
As long as it's not red. Or green striped, that would be Steve. So you gotta be careful.
What would your self costume be?
Depends on the time of the year. Are we talking winter? Are we talking fall? Are we talking summer?
I think now dressing as your old self. If I were to just go out in like an old like big T-shirt and basketball shorts, that can be me from middle school. Still me. That was a year-round thing.
This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed.
You are more prone to breaking out into song with the
Yeah, 'cause I
ukulele
got
and
my
the
little
Jason
backup
Mraz
guy.
look.
I got that music in me. I can't hold it back.
I really should have tuned that before giving it to you.
I tuned it.
I mean, it's tuned to your liking, but
You didn't get. I was working on it, and then you started the recording, so I didn't get to finish. But I'm glad the reactions to this guy's costume are overall positive. It's bold, honestly, because all night people are probably going to be asking, or all day, whatever, are going to be asking him like, "Oh, what are you dressed up as?" Or like they're going to be trying to guess based on like, "Oh, are you the guy from this TV show?" Or like, "Are you this person from this commercial?" And he'd be like, "No, I'm me." So like honestly, kind of brave.
I think
wouldn't want
going
to
out like that and just saying yes to whatever people say
Yeah. Yeah.
could be a fun move.
That would be fun. As long so then you don't have to like constantly correct them or
Yep.
whatever.
Or like
yeah,
explain things. Just like, yep, you got it.
yeah. I guess just saying yes. That would be fun. Just wear just the most generic thing. I feel like we could probably.
I'm realizing that my middle school look is just dressing like Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Or he's dressing as you.
Maybe. Ooh.
Oh yeah, people would guess that you're dressed as Adam Sandler.
And I'd say, yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to dress as myself, my current self, what would you think I am?
Well, you would just wear what you usually wear. You would wear jeans. Oh, what do I think you would be?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. You would
I'm trying to think of what you would be.
because you just look like a normal guy. I would assume it's like someone from a TV show.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just like generic person from TV show.
Yeah.
That
But
works.
I would try to figure out like who is he dressed as? Like who does he look like? That would be a good if you're like in the dating game wearing a very not straightforward costume that people like wearing just regular clothes and people would have to guess because then people will come up to you and be like, "What are you?" and try to guess and stuff.
It is a good conversation starter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that I've seen is just like those things like if you're looking on like Amazon, they'll sell shirts that are like pretend this is blank and it's just like a blank t-shirt with that.
Yeah. I used to have a shirt that was given to me, like passed down to me, that I then also gave away to someone else, but it said, "This is my costume." Stupid.
If
I
were
never
to,
really wore it.
if I were to have an opinion on the worst thing you could wear, that's probably it.
I don't think I ever wore it. Not for Halloween, at least.
Not only is it like not a costume, it doesn't involve any effort, but it's also very straightforward.
Yeah.
So it's like
You don't like
over
that?
3 in my book.
You don't like things that are straightforward?
Well, it can be straightforward if it's high effort and creative,
Okay. Yeah.
but if it's not creative or high effort,
Mm-hmm.
then it has to be kind of absurdist,
Yeah.
as in the
Makes sense.
self.
Yeah. Should we go to the next one?
We shall. Whoa, cursor went crazy.
I've heard that there's going to be an increased spawn rate of cosplayers for next week news. That is from Eric, not a noob.
Ooh.
Or not an oob. Could be either.
Going for the second one.
Not an oob.
Cosplaying next week news. That would be interesting.
Cosplayers for next week news, like people dressed up as next week news characters. As in you or me as a weather person.
When you have the you usually wear either the t-shirt or the suit. I think we
I
put you
did
in
the suit
once. The suit once.
And then I hated it. I hated that video. So now I do the t-shirt.
I think it's really funny.
It is funny. I just looked stupid.
I mean, that's half of it.
Yeah.
Put you in a suit that was made for me.
But yeah, so people could dress up. I mean, maybe the t-shirt sales will go through the roof then with this.
That'd be crazy.
Or the suit sales, I guess. You should sell suits on there. You should sell suits on your website. Or ties. That'd be funny.
I wonder if like Spirit Halloween would pick up like news anchor, but if I were to secretly make it like exactly like they're selling generic news anchor, but it's secretly like the exact next week
outfit.
news suit, like navy blue, white undershirt, and like blue with purple dots tie.
That'd be fun.
That's all it is.
Are you able to? Can you submit things to Spirit Halloween? Is that a thing?
I've never tried. I'm sure if I email them enough, I'll get a response from somebody or blocked.
You better do it like in the off season though, because they probably get a lot of emails now.
Yeah.
So you better wait.
Well, I mean, they'd need time to prepare too.
Yeah.
So
Maybe like right at the end of the season.
I'll make a reminder for like March,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit
February.
later. Maybe
I mean,
like
they're doing
April, May.
They're doing Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Spirit or Spirit of Christmas, whatever they called it. That didn't make sense. So that
Spirit Christmas.
yeah, is that it? So they'll be a little bit busier into the rest of the holidays. And it's just moving the entire
Hat wobbling.
How do people wear this?
The hat's been sitting in the closet for a while. Actually, that was since you were Perry the Platypus for
Yeah, since last
Halloween.
Halloween.
That's the last time it saw any use.
Oh, this is my hat?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm taking this.
It's all yours.
My Perry hat. So it's been there pretty much exactly a year last Halloween. And I left it here.
All right. Trick or treating odds are now more likely to get tricked then receiving treats. And that one's from Prepared for the Future.
Oh, no.
I think it's about time we did this. We've really just taken for granted that, like, you know, you say trick or treat and you're gonna get treats.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's gotta be, you know, it's gotta be some more excitement there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gotten too easy. It's like, it's just like kind of like we say trick or treat, but then, yeah, it's just always treat pretty much. I mean, there's maybe a little trick worked in there. Like, you know, when you have those bowls that have the hand attached to it that, like, grabs your hand.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's trick. You still get the treat. It's trick and treat.
Ooh, I
You should only get one or the other.
I have several ideas for how I can incorporate tricks into trick or treaters.
Uh-huh. Ooh, tricks cereal.
Possibly, that's an idea. That wasn't on my mind, but I'll add it to it.
Mm-hmm.
Trick cereal or like a Trix bar. They make those, right?
Twix bar. Is that what you mean? I'm sure there's a Trix cereal
It's like a Trix
bar.
like cereal bar.
I don't even know if they still make Trix cereal.
I think they do. But so my ideas were, and some of them are more dangerous, but definitely more tricky, trick heavy than others. So I have this window here where I'm like a good 6 to 8 feet off the ground. So I'd need, like, if I were to deliver candy to trick or treaters, like, I can't really do it from my front door. So, like, the window would be the way to go. But I'd need, like, a PVC pipe that I could slide the candies down. And I have two ideas that I can make this incorporate tricks a bit more. Because you get the treat, you know, you're still given candy. But the two things that I had were, number one, like, make it look like it's secured, but it can, like, secretly pop up. So, like, as I'm sliding the candy down the pipe and, like, it looks like it's aimed at the kid's bowl, I just, like, shoot it up and it whoosh, candy flies. And they can still get it, but it's a trick. Second one is maybe a bit more dangerous, but a lot more fun. Is I secretly have an air pressurizer in here, and, like, I load up the candy and it just
So it would, like, go really hard.
yeah, make like a candy gun. That's dangerous. Maybe like the potato launcher version of a candy
You just
tube.
shot it at them. You could just straight
Not at them, but
toss
just
it to
like
them.
just like completely knock the bowl. Maybe shatter the that would be so sad.
I mean, most of them just use bags.
Yeah.
We used to use just,
Break
like-
right through the bag.
We used to use just like a pillowcase.
Candy everywhere, and then I go down and pick it all. That's a trick. If I go down and pick it all up myself.
Oh yeah. But, yeah, because it's trick or treat. So, like, it's not trick and treat. But then people, like, do a trick and then they feel bad, so then they give a treat.
It depends on if you'd feel bad or not.
Yeah.
Those are just ideas, things that I'm putting through my head.
Yeah.
Probably not going to pressurize the candy tube. That could be bad, but fun. I need to get, like, a perfectly circular candy, too, to really make it good.
Gobstoppers.
Gobstoppers,
Then
jawbreakers.
they'd have to be, like, out of the wrapper, too.
Just loose gumballs. Like the tube is oiled so the gumballs can really shoot through. He greased the tube.
You don't even have to wait for Halloween for this.
No, I can just put together a contraption.
You could do that whenever.
I bet you you could probably get, like, the proper sized gumballs too. Like, they probably sell, like, exactly inch gumballs to put in, like, an inch PVC pipe. Really make it airtight. Grease the tube. You could probably put, like, a good... How much pressure can you put in a PVC pipe? Probably, like...
No. 28 PSI?
Maybe less than a tire. That would be dangerous. Imagine the pressure of a car tire shooting out a gumball.
You would break a window.
Yeah. Probably shoot that clear across the street.
Trick!
It was a trick.
Happy Halloween!
That could be kind of a spectacle. I wouldn't want to, like, pretend that it's giving you candy, but just be like, hey, watch me launch this gumball.
Yeah.
That could be fun. A trick for the neighbors, for sure. Should we leave it at that? We're at an hour now.
Sure.
Or should we do one more?
Let's do one more.
This can be the treat. So we've been tricking and treating. A treat is we'll do one more.
We tricked ya thinking we were done.
Oh, we have 2 total submissions left, though. So we'll quickly go through both of them.
Okay. The world will be running out of navy blue crayons on November 12th, 2024. That is from Danny Chicklets.
Ooh, this one is kind of
I'm concerned.
speculative. It's past next
Really?
week, November 12th, but based on projections that we're seeing next week,
Like maybe it could be announced next
the
week.
the future projections then say that November 12th is when we're all out of navy blue.
The crayon market. That's
Yeah.
what they're projecting.
We're getting a rush on navy blue. Maybe the news that there's a rush on navy blue, like it's kind of like the toilet paper in a pandemic situation.
Yeah, it's kind of like with winter coming up, people are using blue crayons a lot more, and I guess specifically navy blue for.
It's big on snowmen
shading?
this year.
Okay, yeah, snowmen more navy blue for
If you're
snowmen
drawing snowmen, yeah, navy blue is the
Yeah.
color that's in.
instead of like light blue, white. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm concerned about this.
Yeah, we don't want to run out.
The entire world.
Because how are you going to draw snowmen during the winter if you're out of navy blue?
I don't know. Are we gonna make more, or we're just running out and we're just calling it quits? Like it's extinct. Navy blue crayons is right now an endangered species. It sounds like on November 12th, it will be an extinct.
So preserve your navy blue
Oh yeah,
if you got them.
yeah. Do I get to?
I'd say run out
going?
and probably get some before this news hits.
So then you can
next
sell them on
week.
eBay for way more. The resale value is gonna be crazy.
Now you're thinking capitalistically.
Oh yeah.
Another word I made up today. And the last one. Pink Floyd's 1969 album Ummagumma will be declared the 8th wonder of the world next week. Quote, whether you like it or not. And that's from Willie Thunderbird.
Wow, this is the first album that they have made a wonder of the world. Correct?
I think so. I don't think any of the other wonders are albums that I know of.
I know. I believe Folklore got close, but it's not been determined. It's not
You
been
had to plug it.
officialized yet.
You had to plug it.
I did. But I mean, this makes sense. It's been out for a while, so kind of seeing its impact and seeing, I guess, that it's still lasting impact.
I took a brief look before, because I'd consider I'm someone who enjoys Pink Floyd.
You're a Floyd head.
I had a phase where I really liked Pink Floyd, and I don't think I know any of the songs on Ummagumma. It seems just looking at it and like it's a lot of like multiple parts songs. It's an album that's meant to be experienced end to end and not through individual songs. Perhaps.
Oh wow, Sisyphus has 4 parts.
Yeah.
Narrow Way is 3 part. Wow. Yeah, this.
I'm sure it's
seems
very good,
intense.
so I'll have to get back to you. Not on whether it's the wonder, that's already determined, but on whether I liked it, which I'm sure I will. Although it does say whether you like it or not, so it's still up to interpretation.
Nice.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Next Week Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
I won't give up.
We're bringing back the play out song. It was recently just bye.
Yeah. Jason Mraz signing off.
Hot dog signing off. We'll see you maybe on the Patreon, but if not, we'll see you next week.